Are here with a true American, Rick Hobson, Jericho Nursery.
Thank you,
and
sir.
so you are going to help us. We're going to be talking about a variety of things today, but first up, let's say we got a party going on, Memorial Day party, or even just a party coming up. We need to do a last-minute facelift.
Yeah, exactly.
As it were, on our patio.
Where should we start?
You know, you've got a lot of things to do, but it's Memorial Day. We're open till 3 o'clock. You're not going to have time to go plant a little color bowl like we talked about last time, right? The fillers, the spillers, the thrillers. You're going to come in and buy this new crazy cross between, and I hope I don't have to pull out my phone, Digitalis and Isioplex, which is
that sounds good to me.
Digiplex.
There you go. Okay.
That's what this thing is. So, or that Canna. Or this Black-Eyed Susan, or this Hosta, where you just, and I've got those other ones, where it's just a color bowl. I was asked to talk about patio plants, so I just brought some real easy, just buy it, plop it down next to the grill, done.
Now, is this something, if somebody is not really the gardener, is this also something that you can do to kind of break you into it?
Brittany, that's a real good way to go, yeah. Instead of having to try and what goes with what, if you just came in and said, I just want 1 or 2 plants I can try.
Yeah.
Because you've said, I'm not the green thumb, I don't.
Yeah.
So you buy that little daisy right there, that little Euryops. And you stick it on the porch and you water it and you fertilize it and it blooms all summer.
Okay.
Pretty easy.
great.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Now, are they all going to stay in the plant in the pots at some point? Will these transplant into the ground if we wanted to move these, or are these going to stay in the plants throughout their life?
You know, most of these can stay in pots through most of their lives. A lot of them won't come back unless you bring them in. I brought this hosta, this big leaf thing, and I brought big leaves that are colorful in textures, so you don't just have to have flowers like the daisy.
Right.
This thing looks cool just like that.
Yeah,
It puts
absolutely.
a little flower. It's not very significant. I have one of those in a pot. The pot's 4 foot high. It's aluminum. It's got a blue flare to the leaf, and it comes
wow.
back every year.
No kidding.
And it shocks me because I'm like, this cool aluminum pot and these blue leaves coming back. Most of the stuff's not going to come back in a pot, and I'm a real skeptic about stuff in pots. So either you know it's disposable, or you get a few. I have Japanese maples in pots too, and they come back every year.
Okay.
So, lots
Now,
of options.
we have been seeing so much rain. So how do we combat the rain when we're trying to get our gardens started?
You channel it, you use it.
Okay.
You know, our rain barrel off here to the left.
That's what we have right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about that before we started the program. And an inch of rain on 1,000 square foot, if you could collect and put that inch of rain to one spot, one spout, is 600 gallons of water.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so I was talking to Chad. My house is about 3,000 square feet. I got 4/10, we'll call it half an inch of rain. That's 1,800 gallons of water last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, what are
Crazy.
the benefits?
Reuse of the water.
Okay.
You know, it's conscientious. Albuquerque is Society Albuquerqueans, is that the right word?
Sure. Burquinos, Albuquerqueans, you take your pick.
505s.
505ers, sure.
We are very environmentally conscious. We have 30-year lows in water, and that's good. But we're doing it at the cost of losing trees. So take that rain barrel and water a tree.
Now, can we find these at Jericho?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So you mentioned one thing, and I think for me the real challenge is figuring out how to channel it in.
Yeah.
Now, is that something we can come to you and say, Rick, we want to do this, we want to follow in your footsteps, try to reduce our carbon footprint. Can you help us figure out how to start channeling that? What's the best way for us to do that? So we get the rain barrel, but how do we get that water in the rain barrel?
So you've got to have a gutter. I mean, people have come to me and said, I stuck it out in the middle of the yard. I'm like, that doesn't work.
No, listen. You laugh. That would be this guy. Why doesn't it just all go in there? I don't get it.
Hopefully he can get a shot of that spout right behind us, but you have to have it coming to one spot.
Right.
That 1,000 square foot has to be channeled to one gutter. Or, like I told you, my one gutter that collects the most water has 4 of those rain barrels linked together, one on 3 cinder blocks, one on 2, one on 1, one on the
So that it
ground.
trickles down.
And I wide the bottoms, and it's just this redneck abode. It's crazy because it's weird and all this
Hey,
stuff.
but it works.
But it works.
It works
And
for
then I
me.
went to Harbor Freight and bought a $50 pump. I stick it in the 4th barrel from the top. I drop the pump in with the hose hook to it, and it's like turning on a faucet.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
Now-
got, what, 320 gallons of water?
That's amazing.
While
Yeah,
we are
it's great.
talking about the rain,
Yeah.
what is this?
That's a rain gauge.
Yes, but what does it do?
It gauges rain.
It tells you, and the reason I brought this one, you've seen, and I carry the big easy read rain gauges for old people like myself that
Okay.
can't see, down to the 1/10 of an inch. And really important here, when I told you I had 4/10 of an inch,
Okay.
if you have that big rain gauge that says 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 5 inch, you can't tell. I can tell you, I should keep a journal, I don't, down to the 100th of an inch how much rain we get. This will
Wow.
at least tell you down to the 10th. When I say an inch of rain, that's pretty rare. Half inch, pretty common. So you can kind of go, wow, I should have probably been able to gather 285 gallons or whatever it is. But I checked my gauges this morning, it was 4/10 of an inch. No, it was Friday morning, 4/10 of an inch.
So when you do this, this is primarily for people. You say, well, why do we need a rain gauge? You look outside. Yep, we got some rain.
Yeah.
But this is for someone that if you are being trying to be very conscientious and trying to reuse that water, this is just as important as having that rain barrel. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just so you know. But it's curiosity. I want to know, and I would really like to put weather stations on all my nurseries, and
Sure.
4 or 5 of the houses, so people could say, because you can be right here at the studio and not get an inch, not
Right.
get a half inch, not get a 1/10 of an inch, and live up in the Northeast Heights and have a deluge where you had 1.5 inches of rain.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So when they say, "Oh, we got 3/4 of an inch," that was the airport.
yeah.
It changes
you get at
all over
home?
time. Yeah,
Exactly.
and you could be a block away, 2 blocks away, and it's different.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
curiosity. It's
Now-
fun to keep track.
Before we get out, can you give us 3 tips for planting in the summer?
Yes.
Top 3.
Top 3. Use good soil. Don't buy junk.
Okay.
Pick appropriate plants for appropriate places. Water, 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 water.
Now, the
Water,
best,
water.
of course, water restrictions happen here in New Mexico throughout the summer, even though we've been getting so much rain.
Correct.
Still anticipate those water restrictions happening. So you recommend early in the morning, late in the afternoon. Is there a better time to do it? We want to avoid the evaporation of that
Yeah,
water.
correct.
What do you do, Rick,
I water in the morning.
in the morning?
Now, I water in the morning because I'm up in the morning. I can see. I think all the parks and golf courses water at night.
Okay.
But just, the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, it's accurate.
It's accurate.
It is. Albuquerque's done a good job. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. In June, it'll go to 3 times a week. In May, it's twice a week. And if you're watering enough water, the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 is the schedule. That's
Okay.
fine. It's ample.
Good to know.
But it's knowing how much water's coming out, how long it takes to fill up the pot, what size the dripper is.
Good to know. All right, so just very quickly, 2 locations. Jericho Nursery said you're open till 3 today. Is that right?
Until 3 today, we're at 101 Alameda. That's east to 2nd, right on the railroad tracks. And our new location on the freeway in Osuna, I'm calling it the Jericho on Osuna. San Mateo turns into Osuna at the freeway. I'm right back there off the road on the north side.
Fantastic. Rick, thanks so much.